Hello guys, here we go again. Good morning. I know I'm again a bit late on my schedule. Luckily, I haven't told anyone my schedule. So anyway, I'm going to try to go straight to the topic, which is of course the trade war, the tariffs and such. I know that's probably why you clicked this video. So I'm going to talk about those. And then on top of that, I will set up a cookie banner on one of my sites. But if you're new here, hello, my name is Janne. I'm your web design friend from Finland. And the trade wars, they are on top of my mind, all the tariffs and such. I have to preface this by saying that I'm not an expert on this by any means. I do not have a great grasp of what the tariffs even are, and I'm of course not a lawyer or international politics expert or anything like that. But the idea is that now that USA has made these tariffs towards basically everyone, including EU. I'm from Finland, so I'm kind of like a EU member. So EU and all the other places will have some countermeasures, if you may. And one thing that is on the table is countermeasures towards American tech companies. And when I heard that on the news, that got me thinking that is there a possibility that my main tools, which are Figma and Webflow, could have a increase in price because of some sort of tariffs that EU puts on those apps. If I understand correctly, those things are not like usual tariffs. Usually tariffs consider like physical goods, but in order for EU to have some like actual good countermeasures, I believe the digital services are on the table. So this is not just me talking about it. Let's see, that's Perplexity. There are like actual news outlets. Of course, the big tech giants are like the Googles, Amazons and such. Maybe not like Figma and Webflow, but if there would be a general tax or tariff for digital services, that would of course mean that Webflow's, Figma's services would be in that like group. Let's see if there is a good quote for this one. Yeah, there are already some sort of regulations and like maybe even taxes for those big tech companies, and they usually are in Ireland for the tax reasons, but I'm wondering if there could be some sort of enforced tariff that goes beyond that. So of course these all are American companies, whether or not they have a local office. Of course, this is not ideal. I would not like to like to have a increase in price for those tools, especially Webflow, because Webflow is not the, how should I say it, most GDPR friendly platform. If you can compare it to open source platforms, of course, you can host open source wherever you want. Webflow servers are, well, not in the EU, and everybody always asks about that. Well, not everybody, but those who are concerned ask about that. And of course, that is not a huge deal for many of us, but it's just a one thing that can be handled or could be handled differently. And if there will be some sort of tariff or tax on top of that, that would be, well, not ideal. That would be actually quite irritating, because that would add one thing on top of everything that I'll have to then explain to my EU customers that, okay, we can still use Webflow, but we just have to do these things. And one thing would be to pay a bit more. As I said, I'm not an expert on this matter. And as I said, that the service tariffs are not a common thing, but I'm just like hoping that they will never be a thing. I know that I might be fear mongering, but I just wanted to talk about this with you guys. So leave a comment or message to the chat if you have any opinions, any thoughts on this. And as I'm not a expert on on any of this political stuff, I could ask Perplexity what it thinks of this. Could EU a tariff for let's start with the quick one. Imposing tariffs, digital services provided big tech companies. Of course, even if it was just those tech giants like Google and such, there are plenty of email services that people in the EU buy, for example, Google Workspace and Microsoft's, what is it called, Office something or Outlook, basically the Outlook. And I would not like to pay more of those, at least than everyone else. Part of countermeasures against new US tariffs. EU is evaluating tariffs on digital services offered by tech companies such as Amazon. Yeah. Unlike traditional goods where EU has trade surplus, targeted digital service allows EU to pressure highly profitable sector that generates substantial revenue in Europe. This approach could serve as a leverage in negotiations while avoiding a different tariff war on physical goods. Stricter regulation for big tech. Yeah, there could be something else, like there is this Digital Marketing Act that I'm not too familiar with, but there is something baking in the EU oven. Limited government contracts, yeah. The impacts on consumers. So there's challenges and implications. Could lead to high cost of European consumers, as companies might pass on these expenses through increased prices. Yeah, that's the thing I'm afraid of. Yeah, implementation is quite hard. Risk of escalation. As you can see, this is not a sure done deal. But it's good to have the conversation beforehand. I'm just wondering, are there any other ways? Of course, yeah, as I said, there's the other regulations. But I feel, of course, I'm in my own little bubble. But as a EU citizen, I feel that that is a big thing. Big leverage to pull if they actually want to get something done or hit something that really feels against those US tariffs. I wish we would not live in a world like this, but there's not a lot of things that I could do for this, so it is what it is. But when I realized that there could be a possible future where this was the case, I then went to see Web Studio. Some of you might have seen this platform already, but this is kind of my backup plan at this point. As you can see, it looks like Webflow already, quite familiar UI interface, and this might be a bit more like geared towards like developers, maybe. Like it takes it a bit further, the whole coding concepts, so you have more flexibility with the variables. You can integrate it with whatever CMS you want, and so on. So this seems interesting. I will surely check this out, especially if there is some sort of tariffs going on, because you can host your site. Let's see where it is. There's the CMS things, APIs. Some builds. Roadmap. Let's check that in a bit. But you can host your site on Cloudflare. And you can host your sites in the EU, which is of course nice. Publish their website or deploy to Cloudflare Edge. Yeah. I'm not a huge Cloudflare user, but I understand that there are some cool tools in there that you might want to use, especially for the security part of websites. Let's see the roadmap. So this is of course not a perfect product. There are some things that Webflow has that Web Studio does not have. For example, the acquisition of GSAP. So I still feel that Webflow has the upper hand when it comes to like visual sites. So there's CMS integration, paste from, okay, you can also paste straight out of Webflow, I believe. CSS variables, content mode. So I believe this is a mode for like customers. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna watch a video with you guys. Commands and search, global data variables. That's interesting. Interactions and animations. Yeah, that is in progress. Component editor, versioning, real-time collaboration. Let's see the full roadmap. Oh, this is a Kanban board. Search token manager. Versioning tail into web study, copy paste, real-time collaboration, apps marketplace. Yeah, that is a big thing. Shopify integration, that would be also cool. Let's check out the pricing. Cloud we host, so if you want the Web Studio to host your plans, $20 for a month. Unlimited sites, unlimited form submissions. that's a weird, not spelling, like weird way to put it. Published staging, yeah, that's nice. Connect to any CMS. Advanced sharing, content mode, 100,000 page views. I guess that is combined with all the sites. I'm just wondering how would this be a thing that I pay or my clients pay? Probably both. One custom domain, 10,000 page views, 300 form submissions. Am I getting this right? If my client has just one page and the page views are below 10,000 page views per month and submissions are below 300, and then they would not need to pay at all. Of course, about they would need to buy a domain, and there's no CMS in here. Yeah, more page views. What about self-hosting? Self-host builder. Okay, you can host the builder or host the site. I'm wondering how hard it would be to self-host, because that's probably the well, not the number one reason, but a big reason I like Webflow and so many others like it too, so that you do not have to deal with all the hosting problems. Custom domains. Yeah, of course it's free because you pay for your own like server space or whatever. Yeah, you should. There's cloud. Okay, that's the builder and that's the self-host builder. Let's see, cloud/we host. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I'm not like catching what is the difference. Like, I'd really have to try this out because I feel that this is quite cheap for unlimited sites. Especially if you like combine it with a free CMS. I'm wondering how well these work. Like, do you get all the reference fields and those things? Webflow CMS is quite good, at least that's my experience. Of course, there could be something better that I do not know about. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. Okay, let's move on to something else. So if you're just joining, I've gone through this trade war thing and how it could affect Figma and Webflow. Well, at least in the EU, maybe in some other countries if they follow the same path. And now I checked Web Studio, which is a alternative for Webflow, one that you can host in EU, probably in many other places too. And yeah, now I probably have to do some actual work. So I have this project. This is that says the greatest bingo show in Finland. So I have this website and I need to do a cookie banner for this site. And I'm gonna do it with what is it? FinSuite components, yeah. And I will be using the tag manager also. I might be installing analytics if I have the time, but let's start with the banner. I'll just briefly open tag manager and check if there is anything. Yeah. Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. Firstly, I will just go to the apps, search for components. There's FinSuite components. They had some talks that it might become a separate app someday. That would be nice. And there's some updates here, but I'm gonna go with the cookie content. Of course, I'm gonna go with the full setup. You have to opt in, expires. For some reason, I like to use 180. Animation. Let's do a small fade. Those are fine. Those are fine. Reset interactions. No need for that. Disable scrolling. No need for that. Store contents. Oh, okay. This is the part that I usually do not do. So this is a bit. I have done this before, so it just guides you how to set up it's probably a Cloudflare account where all the contents are stored. And I find that is quite technical for your average website owner. So I do not do that, but I believe it is required if you want to be like fully compliant. But then again, I have a feeling that no one will ever check those logs out. So, and the client will not understand and even know about those, or remember if I told them that the contents are stored somewhere. Yeah, but you do you. I'm gonna leave that unchecked, and I will use global banner. Okay, what do I have to click? Select body. Oh, yeah. Let's confirm. And here we go. The thing is set. So as you can see, we have a 3-part structure here. So there's the banner, preferences, open preferences, and I'm gonna edit this one by one just to get a better match with my styles. I'm gonna push it out a bit. Okay, do we have this correct font? Yeah, the body is there. I'm feeling lazy. I'm gonna that seems quite good. Quite long, actually. Yeah, there should be timestamps in the description if you look in this or viewing this afterwards. So check out those. This might be a bit boring to just see me translating the stuff. I'm just gonna use the button. Do I have a that's gray. I'm not sure. No, that is actually white. Here we go. That's probably better. But I might want them to be actually in a different. So I'm gonna change this because I want them to be other way around. Those are fine. Then I'm gonna hide this. Preferences. Okay, let's do this first. So I'm gonna leave this text here, but I'm gonna hide it. This is just a way to hide a block element. Then I'm gonna put a fixed size here, 3 rems, let's say. Okay, maybe a bit bigger. No, that's wide, so that's better. How about that? Okay, that will do nothing. Because I have the text there. That's better. Then some coloring. Where am I at? Black. Razzmatazz, yeah. Let's make it round. Okay, there clearly is a background color there. That's better. It seems to me that it is not quite centered. In theory, it should. That's 2. This is 3, and there's half. Okay. Maybe that's better. Close enough. And what else? Then I have the preferences. Let's hide that one too. I'm going to start with the overlay. I just clicked here. It's almost invisible. Wondering what color should I use. Maybe Razzmatazz is too much. Maybe that, and then let's put some opacity there. Using this color picker because I want to apply backdrop filter, which is here. That's quite good. Okay, how about this one? A little bit of roundness. That's not the proper place. It's probably this one. No, not that one either. How about we put a... Okay, that's better. So yeah, just overflowed. And I'm gonna put some button classes here. Alternative? No. I always mixed the alternative and secondary. Here we go. I'm not gonna translate these right now because that's boring. I'm gonna just let them be. And let's hide that one. Let's publish. And while it's loading, I'm gonna search the tag manager info tutorials. Where are they? Store content. Yeah, use global style matchings. Come on, guys. I know that they have the whole page. Here it goes. So there's tutorials, there's steps to go through, and I'm gonna, well, go through them. Firstly, I'm gonna check if this works. Yeah. Beautiful. Quite easy. That part, at least. Okay, then the tag manager. So yeah, download the FinSuite Google Tag Manager template. That's the one I want to use. That's great. I'm gonna surely go to the create a new account. Web, create. Well, of course I have read and accepted everything. So here we go. We do not need the no script thing. Apparently it's somehow or in some way against GDPR. But anyway, I'm gonna just quickly pick that one up and use the custom code from FinSuite's plugin and paste that in. Okay, that's cool. Then what's next? Do you have to import the template? Yeah. So templates, new template, import, and yeah. So templates, was tag template? I believe so. Well, this does not seem. Tag template, yeah. And then a small, okay. Too hasty. Where's my tag template? There. Oh, it's been recently updated. That's nice. Okay, is that all? For the saving, open. Oh, I need to agree, of course. Okay, then we're gonna create the tag for consent mode in initialization. Initialization, yeah. Quite a tough word, but I can manage. Tags, yeah. New. Should be a tag for that. Is it below the? Oh, it's of course. Opt-in, yeah. Let's name this as they do in here. Just that if someone else will check this out, I believe it is this one. Let's make sure of that. So we have done that, we have done that. Yeah, it's opt-in there. Triggering is consent initialization. And save. What's that? If you want more control over you to fire attacks, click plus. This is something new. I do not remember this one. That was probably just to separate the page. We're already no, yeah, that was a separate trigger. Create a trigger for essential triggers. And I believe this is the boring part. Because I have to create a trigger for essentials, marketing, personalization, and analytics. So essential cookies, custom event, essential activated. Just going to copy. I do not want to make typos in here. Event contains, it's probably equals. Let's see. Event equals essential activated. Essential activated, yeah. Here we go. Second one. Again, there is another one. For the host name, yeah. I'm not gonna do that. Marketing cookies. The same stuff. What's next? Personalization. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but my dog is snoring background, so that is a comfortable background noise for working. There's still one to go. Analytics. Here we go. That should be equals right there. Scripts that are triggered for compliance, cookie compliance. Okay, so I'm gonna do Facebook pixel, GA tag manager, not like just a regular on analytics. So let's see what it says. Actually, let's just make a tag for that. New tag, yeah. This is a basic page view, and there is not one for that. Triggering would be marketing cookies, right? Advanced. If I remember correctly, we need to set this up. Add storage. Let's check out this. So we have the Facebook pixel that is not yet there. We do not use the all pages. We use the marketing cookies. Yeah. Yes, yes. Is that all? Don't we need to do... No, there is add storage. I believe they skipped that. No, it's the second step, so you need to add that for consent mode V2. I'm not a huge car guy, but for some reason I wanted to say V8. Submit and publish. Okay, we still need to do a couple of things. I want to find the basic code for the metapixel. Could you please show me that? Yeah, here we go. Again, I'm not gonna take the no script. I'm hoping that it will work without it. So I need to put there a little code. I'm not gonna show that in this stream, but I already have it. I saved that one. Then we are gonna do another one. GA4. Page view is might be a bit misleading. I'm just gonna use this Google tag. Tag ID, I do not have that yet. It's analytics storage. Okay, this triggers it straight from the start. I'm wondering if that's fine. I have the analytics storage right there. There was an update for for the way Google handles this. So tag managers will set up or start a Google tag automatically if there is not like one right here. Let's save that one. Okay, I need to get the tag ID. Let's do a Google Analytics. There's my empty analytics. I want to do a new one. Whole new account. No need to share anything. What is this? Finland. GTM is just fine. And we're working in web. We will have a domain of with the W's, and the stream name will be this. Create and continue. I'm gonna quickly do this. Of like the stream or of my window. I just picked up the measurement ID. And now I'm just checking that everything is fine. Yeah, it seems to me that it is. And here we have a fresh account. And I already saved it in the tag manager. Yeah, I'm gonna preview this because I want to check that everything works. I'm not gonna preview that on the actual domain because it's not published there yet. Here's the site. Yeah, that works. Let's see. The tag is not found because I have not submitted this yet, and I have not published the site yet, so no wonder it does not work. Yeah, let's try that one more time. Hopefully the audio is all right because I made some changes and I'm not a big audio guy, so this is This is like learning to me. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So all the tags fired. That's probably because I already accepted. Reject all. Let's see. Let's go to another page. Yeah, the tags did not fire, and we have the contents. Yeah, everything is denied except security. On the other hand, here, if we go to that, we all have everything granted. Yeah, it seems to work just fine. And as you can see right here, the GA tag did not fire, although it had a initialization trigger in here in the tag manager. So yeah, that it has been set up. I'll do one more thing while I'm here. I'm gonna just update the Facebook tag. And let's see, actually, one thing I usually want to do is to add at least this one Google Analytics event. No, not those. I cannot remember how to do it. So I'd like to mark everything that comes to this webflow.io domain, which you probably cannot see. I'd like them to be marked as internal. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll do that on a later date. Publish that one more time and seeing like no one is listening. That's a quick setup, basic setup. I know the client is just starting their analytics journey, so no need for anything fancier at this point. I might do some events for the form submissions, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that right now. Well, I'm not gonna do that right now, but anyway, those would be the things that I do. When it goes like over that, I'm not gonna do anything more special for a basic client. If they have some sort of service from me, like let's say SEO and optimization services, then we of course plan the analytics and the conversions more neatly. Okay, that's quite good. We're closing in to an hour of stream, and I've already done everything I wanted to do. I'm wondering if there is something else I could do. I'm gonna pick some water. I'm not sure if you can say that, but I will be right back. Did you like my be right back screen? I'm not sure if there's an official name for that. But yeah, actually, there is one thing I wanted to test, and it is music on a stream. So you probably know that most of the music is copyrighted, and you should separate the tracks if you're streaming so that you do not get the copyright bans or whatever. But I have this audio set up. Let's see if I can find it. I have some royalty-free music just from the YouTube library, so that should be fine. And let's see if we can hear it. Yeah, it is just looping this, and it seems to me that it's working. At least the stream mix is bouncing even when I'm not talking. Yeah. That would have been good to remember from the start, but yeah, we're all learning here, so be gentle. Okay, let's check out the screen again. And one thing I should do is I should go through this page and check that it is responsive, at least for the most parts. And the way I do it usually is just put a tablet screen size and see that everything works. Okay, and section by section I'm gonna just check that. Okay, that falls down to 1 column, which is nice. That works too. Actually, this works quite well. Now I'm wondering if I have already done this. Let's check the other page. Yeah, there is something I could do, like fix. So I use the Reloom style importer for the page, and it used the old spacing strategy, which is not my favorite. So I'm wondering where should I put the extra space. Maybe here. That's a component level. That's fine. There's a video missing. That works just nice. I should check out those links. And that is not working. The hover effect is not working, but I should fix that right here. I'm digging this endless looping music. Endlessly looping music. That's better. That goes a bit on top of that. Let's fix that. These are basically the same sections. This is an interesting one. This is a pricing calculator. And it works too. I have a feeling that I have done one round of checking the pages. Okay, I'm in the desktop. Again, another a bit more specific section. So this needs some fixing. Let's put it there and drop the. How about the mobile large? Was it fine? Yeah, it's fine there. And then the list section. Where is it? Should be like this. That's good. That could be less. The list could be less too. Better. This needs some content. Well, we have all the building blocks here. Should I do something for this? Maybe I should take those off. Those are good. Those are fine. Okay, here's view all. Actually, we do not need that one. We have nowhere to view all. Oh, this is a simple page. That needs a bit more space. And since this is a component, I'm gonna need to do some special things. I'm gonna put a div right here. Huge, is that too much? Okay, let's see the start. Where's my huge? There it is. No. So I'm just making another utility class. I'm gonna hide that one there and go to the tablet. That is quite close. Mobile. Now we're gonna show that. That's quite good. How about the last one? Yeah. So I have two spacers there, actually. And now I have to make this conditional. Settings, yeah, visibility. That's in Finnish, just so the client can understand that. It basically says more space on top of the heading. And is there something else I should do? Oh yeah, I should put that property settings to default visibility. It's not, because this is not the default place where I use this thing. Here we go. That's better. My typography goes a bit weirdly, so it's bigger there than it is in here. Maybe I'll go to the style guide in a little bit and check those out. About page. Yeah, there is again same problem. Better. Yeah, that's good. That does not need to be so long. That's good. How about that? Value item. Oh, I do not like those marching bottoms. How about we just do this? I have to do the same thing for every one of this. Okay, let's go to here. Value list is always flex center like that. There's a little gap. That's good. Tape. That could be max width. Better. That is also better. Okay. Then I have that one. There's just one column. Okay, yeah. So I believe one of my columns is pushing that. Here we go. There will be some videos, hopefully soon. Okay, that is about it. Do I have something else? Just the old boring site. So I'm gonna publish that. I zoned out clearly, but yeah, let's check out the style guide. So I have the heading tags right here. Let's see. Okay, there is something weird going on here. same thing. Well, at least it it is the same thing for both of those. Fix that first. Then let's go to tablet. This is going just well, but there is something. Was it there before? Yes, it was. Okay, now that is not lining up. .3 heading style 4. Was it 4? 2.3. Yeah, heading style 4 is like that. Yep, that's good. That is good. Okay, this is the problem. And maybe this one too. So 2.9, 2.3, 2.9, 2.3. And we also have some problems with here, so 1.5, 1.25. 1.5, 1.25. That is better. I need to check out the weight. I believe I made it. No, I did not. Maybe I fixed it. Okay. At this point, I'm gonna clear the styles. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this is quite fine tuning. Now I'm wondering if I should do some animations like appearances, like those subtle things that just move the things, show the things when you scroll to the right place. I've tried to do them with CSS animations and with Webflow's own animations. I'm not sure which is better. For some reason, the CSS things do not like match up. That's probably because of me. I'm not a full-blown coder, so that's the reason is usually in the user, at the user. The user is the reason. Yeah, anyway. Okay, let's check out style guide. I have this components library, so I'm gonna maybe put some things in here and I'm gonna use them. I need to pick up something to build the components on. I want to use class to trigger the what is it? The animation, yeah. You can see how slow I am sometimes. I'm gonna wrap this div block and let's call this appear. Simply appear. And interactions. Scroll into view. I'm just gonna use the scroll into view. I will put that as a class. Yeah, that was a naming scheme in client first for the interactions, but I do not remember that too well. So those brackets should have the action, maybe, and this should be the elements. Maybe I will just write it here. Move it down. Let's see. A bit more. I'm aiming for a real subtle animation. Opacity is 0. Let's say this is like that. And this should be actually initial state, probably like that. So there is not anything. I'm going to duplicate those. I'm going to put that to 0 and this to 100%. And you guys should not be linear, just ease. Duration is there already. Duration is the same for both of you guys. Let's save. I clicked the wrong one. I want to see the, yeah, that is quite fast actually. Let's try the half a second. Again, it's quite fast. I want it to be subtle. Let's move that a little bit less. Let's go with 7, 0.7. That's quite good. How about if we move that even less, 20 pixels? Yeah, that is quite cool. And let's try if it works. I'm gonna use it here. And I'm not gonna apply the interaction. I'm just gonna add a custom attribute class appear. Same thing with that. So this was not always possible. You could not put a class attribute there. But you do not need to remember those days because now it is possible. Let's see. Beautiful, it works. Yeah. Now I just have to add it wherever I wanna use that. Maybe that image could also be okay. The image is quite long, so it will pop up before everything, but yeah. I'd wish there would be a option to copy paste the attributes. This is if I will put this in every single element, it will take me some time. Every single element I want to like appear. Yeah, it will take me a time, but it gives me quite good control. So for example, these cards, I can just put this class to every one of those, and when we go to mobile, it will show them one by one, not all together, because I did not put it in the wrapper. I would like to edit the thing. Yeah, here we go. How about these? These could come into view as a whole. Maybe these two. I'm really waiting, really waiting what Webflow folks are gonna do with the GSAP things and the next iteration of the interactions. So if you didn't know, Webflow required, basically bought the company that makes GSAP. Is it GreenSock maybe? Yeah. And in the last Webflow Conf, they announced that they are gonna build the next version of Webflow interactions. I made this so that it will just play once per element. So if I scroll back to the top, it will not do it again. And I'm wondering if I should put the same effects on the hero. I might let the hero just be. That's good. I'm not gonna go through every page. I'm gonna ask the client that if they like it, and then I can edit it while I'm doing the next batch of work. About this logo, should those appear? Maybe not. Yeah, I kind of like this. This is like a good example of very like basic hero layout, but the video does a lot. Every time you put a video on the background, it is nothing new, but it is like so dynamic, and you get the sense of what the people are doing. So videos are really handy if you have those. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna wind down the stream. I'm getting hungry again, as always. There's Nola. She's feeling a bit tired. Well, she always sleeps at this time of day. That is her like working phase or posture. Yeah. If you liked the stream or you have checked out some other videos, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. I'm a small channel and I'd like to see where the YouTube journey leads me. And also, if you have some suggestions about topics for videos, streams, podcasts, you might have actually seen that I released a podcast episode on YouTube. So I have tried doing some monologue podcasts in Spotify. Well, mainly Spotify, of course, there are other platforms, but anyway, and yeah, I released an episode with an actual guest, Felix Means, and we had a good conversation about AI and how web designers should adapt to the oncoming things. Of course, we talked about a lot of other stuff like frameworks. Felix is a Lumos user, and I said that I will need to try that out, and I actually will try that out, maybe in some of these streams. And yeah, I lost my trail of thought, but anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye. Yeah, I really like this music.